Now, inflation is at its highest level for more than a decade. The Consumer Prices Index, the government's preferred measure, hit 3% in December. The bank's target is 2%. Some experts say another rise in interest rates is now much more likely. Our economics editor, Evan Davis, has this assessment.
A pub in the city called the Bank of England. Are they talking about inflation here?
Well, I've certainly noticed a change in the costs of plumbers, electricians, builders, getting cars repaired, any kind of service industry. Prices have gone through the roof.
If inflation was a game of pub darts, here they'd be aiming for the 2. The inflation target is 2.0. On average, the Bank of England's been hitting the target well, but now it's 3 they're hitting, way off. If it goes to 3.1, then MacDonald-Keen, the bank's governor, has to write a grovelling letter of apology to the Chancellor. And the older, broader measure of inflation, the RPI, that hit a 15-year high of 4.4%. Here at the real Bank of England, they're probably not having much fun playing darts, but they do know that higher inflation could just be a blip. It's been driven by higher global energy prices. Those prices aren't going up anymore, so the whole problem might go away. It's just inflation, a blip. It has a nasty habit of sticking around. If companies find they've got more than enough orders to keep themselves fully occupied, that's when they're most likely to raise prices. And complain as we might, in the UK the economy generally seems pretty busy. That's what they're finding at John Smedley, the knitwear company in Derbyshire.
The demand is good. It is in danger where we are at this moment in time, whereby the demand for the product could exceed our ability to supply. But if that does happen, then frankly it's a nice problem to have.
Yes, but are companies' problems getting too nice? For several years now, inflation in the service sector has been running at well over 2%. But that's okay, as inflation in goods prices, anything from toys to textiles, has been negative. But not anymore. Higher energy prices have pushed inflation there up too. The Monetary Policy Committee has the job of keeping the average at 2%. The nightmare for them is that we now start building in 3% into pay deals. One MPC member was discouraging that today.
If inflation is to be brought back to target and remain there, demand needs to be appropriately restrained. And expectations of inflation by wage and price setters must remain consistent with the 2% CPI target.
15 years ago, when the broad measure of inflation, the RPI, was last as high as it is today, interest rates were 10.5%. The economy suffered a recession, and you know what? It cured inflation. Now, no one believes the Bank of England will have to take such drastic steps this time to sort the problem out. But it is a timely reminder the last few years have been a bit special. And you can't always expect that 2% inflation to be delivered without interest rates ever going above 5%. Evan Davis, BBC News.